Imagine flying to Bali for a wild content tour and ending up in an Indonesian jail under strict morality laws with the whole world watching. That's exactly what's happening right now to adult creator Bonnie Blue, and this story is way darker than just influencer gone too far. Today we're breaking down why she was arrested, what could actually happen to her, and what this says about the entire extreme content industry. Who is Bonnie Blue? Bonnie, real name Tia Emma Billinger, is a 26-year-old British adult creator who built a massive following by constantly pushing the limits of what's allowed online and offline. She's known for shock marketing, huge records, and stunts that get headlines, bans, and a lot of backlash. Earlier this year, she went viral, claiming she'd slept with over 1,000 people in 12 hours, trying to break a so-called world record. That stunt alone put her on the radar of mainstream media, regulators, and platforms. From there, she doubled down. She became famous for promoting extreme challenge events, like her controversial petting zoo idea, where she wanted to be displayed in a glass box like an animal and let adults line up to have sex with her. That was the final straw for OnlyFans. The platform confirmed that these kinds of extreme challenge acts violated their policies and banned her from making content there, even saying creators aren't allowed to claim that kind of content lives on OnlyFans at all. So when someone that notorious decides to take her show on the road to Bali, a country with very strict morality and pornography laws, you can probably see the collision coming. What actually happened in Bali? According to multiple reports, Indonesian police and immigration officials raided a rented villa in Kuta after getting public complaints that pornographic content was being filmed there during Schoolies, that big Australian end of high school party season. Inside, they allegedly found Bonnie and a group of men, aged roughly 17 to 40, along with filming equipment. In total, 15 people were detained. Most of the men have reportedly been released, but Bonnie, plus at least one Australian man and two British men, are still in custody as police investigate whether they violated Indonesia's strict laws around immoral content and sex work. The property itself is suspected of being used as a base to create explicit videos. And this wasn't just any random timing. Bonnie has been openly promoting a Bang Bus tour in Bali, saying she wanted to hook up with as many freshly graduated students as possible. So you've got a high-profile adult creator openly advertising sexual content around very young but legal age people during a party week, filming in a country that does not play around with sex work and porn. That is a legal disaster waiting to happen. This isn't her first ban. Remember, this is the same person who was banned from entering Australia after she tried to promote explicit filming at Schoolies events there. Authorities canceled her visa when she publicly advertised for a barely legal 18-year-old to shoot adult content with her. They basically said, "You're planning to work here in a way that breaks the rules, no thanks." Then OnlyFans banned her for extreme challenge content. Now she's in Bali, again centering her brand around the youngest possible adult participants, again filming and again drawing huge official pushback. You can call it branding, you can call it owning your sexuality. But governments and platforms are clearly seeing something else: risk, exploitation, and public morality problems. What could she be facing? Indonesia's laws around pornography and public morality are strict and often enforced hard on foreigners. We don't have full charge details yet, but possible outcomes range from fines and deportation, being blacklisted from re-entering Indonesia, all the way up to prison time if authorities decide this crosses into serious criminal territory under their anti-pornography or prostitution laws. On top of that, there's the immigration side. If they say she was working without the correct visa, filming content, running events, making money, that's another problem. And while some of the men were released, the fact Bonnie is still reportedly being held tells you they see her as a central figure, not just a random guest. The bigger conversation: where is the line? Bonnie Blue is an extreme example, but she's not alone. There's a whole wave of creators trying to stand out in a crowded adult content economy by being the most shocking, the most outrageous, the most "I can't believe she did that." But there are real questions here. At what point does empowerment slide into self-harm or dangerous situations? How much responsibility do platforms have when they profit off someone's extreme stunts and then ban them only after things get really dark? And how far should governments go in policing adult content, especially when it involves foreigners and morality laws? Bonnie says other creators copy her ideas and are allowed to stay on platforms that ban her. She claims she creates controlled environments and hasn't ended up hospitalized like some others who do dangerous challenges. But regulators and companies clearly aren't buying that argument anymore. And now we're seeing what happens when that same shock marketing strategy leaves the internet and collides with a real-world legal system that doesn't care how many subscriptions you've sold. So, victim of moral panic or architect of her own downfall? Some people online are defending her, saying, "She's an adult, they're adults, it's consensual, let her do what she wants." Others see the Bali arrest as inevitable and honestly overdue, given how many times she's tried to turn public spaces, young party events, and entire countries into the background for her content. No matter what side you're on, one thing is clear: going viral doesn't protect you from the law. Influencers forget that sometimes. Likes and headlines don't matter when you're sitting in a detention center in a foreign country hoping your lawyer can get you out. So, what do you think? Is Bonnie Blue being unfairly targeted because she's loud, sexual, and unapologetic? Or is this exactly what happens when creators keep raising the stakes just to stay relevant? Should countries like Indonesia be this strict about adult content? Or is this just outdated morality being enforced on someone who lives off shock value? Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious where you fall on this one.